Talk 1380 WAOK, the voice of the community. That was Darnell. What was that? What is that? What?
Pop that by Migos.
Pop that by Migos.
The way
Pop
she
that.
shake that make me want
Wanna
to make a million babies.
Now, as an attorney, I will tell you that it's a bad idea to have a million babies. Child support is real.
What?
And also, generally with the HIV rate in the African American community, it's a bad idea
Bad.
to do a lot of unprotected sex with individuals. Still, we are talking about hip hop history, past, present, and future. In studio, we still have hip hop pioneer and legend, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Rahiem from the Furious Five, and also we're joined by up and coming rapper. You guys might not have heard of him yet, but he is on that cutting edge. It is Paper Chase Ace in the building. How are you?
Yo, what's going on, world? This kid, Paper Chase Ace. You already know, straight from Marietta, Georgia. You know, across town, I do this straight for y'all. You know, I love my city all the way.
No question. Is there like a training class where y'all young had to do that like quick little hip hop talk? Because I can't do that because it's all like it's one breath. Like you don't take a breath in the middle.
Nah, I mean, a lot of stuff is just like off the top of the head. I feel like the type of individuals we are as hip hop artists is just like a lot of stuff is just like natural. I feel like, you know, we have certain reasons why we do this, and you know, if you're really true to it, you know. In music in general, you know, anything I say is just straight what I do, what I live, what I go through, and that's, you know, what generates what people like. You know, people like to hear things that they went through with you. You know, if I went through that and you went through that and you talking about that, you know, that really inspires a lot of people, you know, keeps them going.
But I think this is one of the questions people have nowadays, which is that, oh, you say you're from Marietta.
Yeah.
So you're not saying you're from the Swats. You're not from Bankhead.
Nah,
you know,
I'm not.
Yeah, when nobody.
I just wouldn't say where I wasn't from, you know.
Mm-hmm. But so I think the question always turns into that we have a lot of what we call the middle class rappers now, where they grew up in a nice house, nice neighborhood, when nobody's shooting at them, nobody robbing them.
Yeah.
But then what they're talking about is still shooting, robbing, and killing. Where do you think that impulse comes from?
I mean, it's just really, I guess, who they be around. I don't know, or what they think is hot. You know, for me, I didn't grow up. I grew up in an unstable home, in my opinion. You know, I didn't have. My dad left at an early age. I didn't know. You know, I didn't see him for a while. You know, and then it was just me and my mom. You know, and she was that single parent that had to work 2 jobs. You know, and it was really me at the house, and I could really do whatever I wanted to do. So you know that. It's hard because you don't have someone that is there to really guide you, you know, as a male figure, because you really just have nothing but your friends out there. So it's like me, I was a little bit of everywhere. You know, I always was around my friends, and, you know, majority of my friends were in the same situations or worse. You know, and we was always in the hood. You know, that's just where we played ball at, you know, as youngins. And then, you know, and they, you know, we grew up and, you know, we just still together, you know, and that's just a bond, you know, I feel like a lot of people create, you know, out there in the streets. It's just a lot of people create bonds, and it's just figuring out what you can do to get your whole team together. You know, that's what the whole plan is about whatever you do.
And so my question, that's a great story. Why is that so rarely reflected in music now?
I mean, I just feel like a lot of people are going at music for the wrong ways. Me, like I said, I use music to express, you know, certain ways I'm feeling, things I'm on my mind, and I go all in. I don't write, you know. I just go in there and I just feel a beat, and the way it makes me feel is just what I say. So it's just like, I'm that type of individual. I'm sure there's a lot of other individuals in the rap game that's the same way, but, you know, I feel like it's rare because, you know, it's rare you see someone pop. You know, it's really just about, you know, who got it. You know, at the end of the day, if you got it and it's in you, you know, and it's on the track, it pop, you know, you're going to pop. So that's pretty much what it's about. It's a lot of other things intertwined in that too, but, you know, I feel like that's one of the big things in it.
All right, and Rahiem, what do you think needs to happen for some of the, you know, the pioneers, the older cats to be able to better interact with the people who are up and coming, who are hot now? Because there was a big interview that went around this week where Joe Budden was talking to Lil Yachty, and Joe Budden looked like he wanted to fight Lil Yachty because he was trying to get his message across, but it was so aggressive that it was coming across as an attack on him versus saying, like, look, let me help you, let me teach you, let me educate you, let us work together on this.
Right. Well, I think first and foremost is the pioneers or the elder statesmen of the culture need to understand that when we came out, it was brand new. What we did was brand new. There was a lot of resistance. A lot of people ridiculed us, said what we were doing was a fad. It was ridiculous. It wasn't talent. And so we have to keep those things in mind when we look at today's generation of hip hop practitioners, and not be so harshly critical of them, because that way, I mean, you know, my grandmother always taught me, you catch more flies with sugar than you do with, with vinegar, or with honey, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what we need to do in order to bridge the gap is listen, you know what I mean? Like, that was the reason why we created hip hop in the first place, because the disco movement, they were older than we were, and they were, more sophisticated than we were. So when we went to try and, interact with them, they kind of like brushed us off, shunned us, like, we were their nappy-headed stepchildren or their little brother who didn't have his hangout card yet. So when we created hip hop, we had the attitude that we were completely opposed to disco because of that fact, because they shunned us. So we are experiencing the same scenario with today's hip hop practitioners in rap music, because of the fact that, it's taken this turn. But the reason why it's taken this turn, as I explained earlier, is we're not in control of it. The machine is in control, and they perpetuate this illusion in order to fulfill the prison industrial complex's quota. And like I said, if every day of your young, impressionable life, all you hear from your favorite artist, who's in your ear more hours a day than your parent and your teacher, and they're telling you, I kill niggas, excuse my, that
AM
probably
radio
wa-
on a Sunday.
AM radio on a Sunday.
After church.
Right. Ooh, and we in the Bible Belt. My bad. Let me reel that back in. All right. Yeah, so that mindset perpetually played by radio stations, and the listeners are constantly tuning in. It's bound to influence them. So in order for us to change anything, we have to impress upon this generation of practitioners of hip hop culture the importance of and bring about the awareness that they are being programmed. We are being programmed, and that's the reason why we're the majority of the people who fill the penitentiaries.
All right, now, Paper Chase, do you think that it's more difficult for somebody who doesn't talk about the stereotypic things? Everybody knows the pedantic things of hip hop. Is it more difficult for someone like that to get signed or to get airplay, to get on in general?
In my opinion, it depends. It goes both ways. A big part of it, is being known. It doesn't really matter, I feel like, your background, in my personal opinion. But I feel like it is difficult, from a standpoint from some people have that blessing where they just got someone that just opened the door for them and guide them all the way through to the end, and have people like labels and other things like that jump on them fast because their family members or who they have with them or things of that nature. So I feel like a lot of that has something to do with it, but at the end of the day, it's all about the music to me. At the end of the day, I feel like a lot of DJs, if the music is good, in my personal opinion, a lot of DJs I talk to in the city, if the music's good, they'll like you. It's all about the music. At the end of the day, it's not really about your background or anything like that.
All right, and beginning of the show, we promised y'all hip hop past, present, and future. Want to get into the conversation. The good friend of the show, the friend of WAOK, Killer Mike is on the line.
All
Killer
right.
Mike, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Man, thank you so much for tuning in. As we know, you are the mayor, the king of Atlanta hip hop, as it currently is constituted. How does it feel? How does it feel being the grand poobah now? Because I remember when you first hit when I was in college, and now people look at you as the OG. Mike, you still there? I think we're having a couple technical difficulties with Mike, so Darnell's going to get him back on the line. But I wanted to go back to this conversation between Rahiem and Paper Chase, because, Paper Chase, what's your real name so I can call you that? Demetrius, right?
Yeah, my real name Demetrius, but everybody just call me Ace.
All right, Ace. We're going to go with Ace.
Yeah.
So because it's
Yeah.
hard saying Paper Chase Ace
Yeah.
on the air.
Yeah.
But after the break, I want you to answer this question. Why do you think there's so much resistance from younger artists to getting that advice from some of the older cats in the game? We're going to talk about that after the break. We'll give you a couple minutes to marinate on that.
That sounds
News
good.
and Talk 1380 WALK, the voice of the community. Coming back with Killer Mike, Rahiem from Furious 5, and also Paper Chase Ace.
Yeah.